Gingerbread Man Down, Clean Up on Aisle podcast.
Welcome back to another episode of Clean Up on Aisle podcast. Dirty truth about grocery stores. I'm Jef Harmatz, joined as always by Adam Fligsten. Hello, Adam.
Hello, Jef. How are you?
We are definitely doing something right now. We are having a field trip episode, and I'm going to try not to get us killed. I do think if we get... So we're in my car. We're driving to a grocery store. I do think if we got creamed, like, that would be, you know, pretty exciting podcast material.
Somebody would have to find the wreckage, unload the SD cards, edit it together as a memorial.
I guess so, yeah. If we totally get toasted right now.
All right.
We are driving to a Winco, and we are going to record from the car. Hopefully the video is working. I assume the audio is working. We're leaving Yucca Valley right now and heading down to the Winco in Indio, I think.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest, I don't actually know where we're going. But before we get to that, we like to start off every episode of the show with grocery store news.
Yeah. No jingle for that, just supermarket news.
Supermarket news.
Oh, last time, but although then that might be trademarked.
Yeah, that's the. I mean, we're getting our grocery store news from the website Supermarket News. First up, I believe that Kroger is recalling like 11 million eggs. So we've been in the midst of a foodborne illness crisis. I was just telling you off the show that I think I have cyclosporiasis. That maybe got it from that banh mi that I ate.
Yeah.
I've still been like, you know, it's been coming back here and there, my illness. And, you know, as I said in that episode with regards to the Caesar salad thing, the romaine lettuce, you can't even start talking about, you can't finish talking about one foodborne illness outbreak without having another one start. Where the egg outbreak has begun once again. Eggs were expensive. They're kind of cheap now. And now they're being recalled.
Yep. The eggs don't have cyclosporiasis, right?
No, this is a salmonella outbreak, actually.
Yeah.
It's specific to somebody that's supplying Kroger's. You know, they did give the serial number on the packages of the eggs that are being recalled. There are no instances of anybody getting sick just yet, but it's like 11 million eggs. Do you think this is going to make the price of eggs go back up?
Yeah. I mean, although as we reported a few episodes ago, the real cause was just price fixing.
Absolutely.
So who knows if, they say you never let a good crisis go to waste. So maybe they will find a new way to fuck us over this more.
Yeah. What do you think they do with all these eggs that they're recalling? Incinerate them?
Just throw them into a garbage pit. Yeah.
I mean, if that was...
Feed them to pigs or something.
Oh, do pigs eat eggs?
Pigs eat everything.
Raw eggs you feed to a pig?
Sure.
No shit. Okay. Wow.
I mean, they shred up. It's really gross, but they shred up like Wonder Bread with the plastic. And they feed it to pigs.
Ugh, that's really gnarly. They couldn't even unwrap it for the guys. I mean, it would be great if they could give those eggs to like needy hooligans. Like, hey, so we promise we're not going to use these for eating. We promise we will hunt them at people's houses.
But only people who deserve.
Absolutely. You're going to means test the hooligans?
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, if you if the kid says, I swear I won't eat these eggs, I swear I won't cook them, I promise to huck them at the principal's car, or like, you know, chuck them over the overpass on this other cars or whatever. We should be donating the eggs, at least get some fun out of them.
I mean, kids do, they live a difficult life, right? We don't give them, they can't vote. They have to go to school. They have to get a permit to earn money if they're under a certain age. So yeah, we got to help them out.
All right. I love donating these eggs to some nasty kids. Just make sure they're poor nasty kids. We no rich nasty kids.
They can afford their own sickly eggs.
I did this I didn't know I knew we'd be talking about the egg recall. I have a bit of a tangent for you. I did make a big batch of eggnog this week.
Why in the middle of summer you make a big batch of eggnog?
We are recording this in July. We will be talking about the heat a little bit more, but I guess the gist of it is the last few years I've been making Alton Brown's eggnog recipe, and he says you should age it. It's Alton Brown's aged eggnog.
Aged how? Oh God, I don't like anything about this. But how long are you aging it?
Well, so the recipe is essentially dairy.
Yeah.
I just made it. I could give you the recipe off the top of my head if you'd like it.
Sure, go for it. Every sentence is gonna gross me out, but
okay.
Go ahead.
So it is 12 egg yolks. Discard the whites. Donate them to some needy hooligans.
Yeah.
Or save them for a pavlova.
Okay.
And you mix the 12 egg yolks with a pound of sugar.
Pound?
1 pound of sugar.
Okay.
Some nutmeg. And then you mix fresh grated nutmeg, of course.
Yeah.
You mix the so you do 1 cup of rye. Well, his recipe calls for bourbon. I prefer rye.
Okay.
1 cup of rye, 1 cup of rum, 1 cup of cognac, and 1.5 pints of dairy. I used some half and half and some heavy cream, and you just stir it all together, and there's your eggnog. That's your eggnog.
If you were to put the sugar against the dairy, like, would it be like a fifth of the volume?
Ooh, I'm really bad with measurements.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest.
Because that's a lot of sugar. That's the part that throws me the most at this.
It's really sweet. It's eggnog.
Yeah. Okay, so then how long is it supposed to age?
So Alton Brown's recipe says you must age it at least 2 weeks. So typically I have been...
So I thought you were preparing for Christmas.
Yes, I am preparing for Christmas.
I know, but we're still 6-ish months out from that.
So we aged it for 2 weeks, and we didn't get through it all last Christmas. And it wasn't like, oh, I'm going to save this for, 6 months. I have had year-long aged eggnog.
Aged in the fridge?
Yeah, aged in the fridge. And it was all right. I don't think it was, incredible. But I did notice that as this little batch of eggnog has been aging, it has gotten better. So it was made on December 19th, and it's still, we just finished it. We tried it on on my radio show, and we compared it to fresh eggnog versus the 6-month-old eggnog.
Okay. Same recipe?
Same recipe, exact same recipe. I used locally grown eggs from a co-worker's yard, and I don't think 6 months was kind to the eggnog. I do think that maybe 4 or 5 months is a preferable thing. However, we did still make the eggnog. It is in my refrigerator. I do need to decant it into some smaller receptacles when I get home.
So you still didn't answer the question.
What's the question?
Why in the middle of July are you making it?
So it can age for 6 months, and then around Christmas time we'll sit around.
But you just got the solution that 6 months is not right.
Well, I had already committed to doing this bit on the radio.
All right.
I kind of had my hands tied a little bit.
Right.
I was like, I have to have fresh eggnog. Like, we brought in the guys that grew the eggs onto the show, and we did a Christmas in July episode, and that's why I am doing it for 6 months.
Christmas in July.
Yes.
All right.
Classic thing. So there you go. I assume you will not be wanting to taste this eggnog in 6 months.
Nope.
Got it.
Nope. Even when I ate eggs, I never enjoyed eggnog.
And I do have a lot of Winco news as well. So we are doing a Winco road trip episode. Do you want the Winco news now, or do we want to tie it in with
good Winco news now?
All right. So, I was preparing some supermarket news, some grocery store news for our show. And I went to the website, Supermarket News, knowing that, shout out to them, we really like them, supermarketnews.com. And their front page story was Winco is being sued by some employees.
Yeah.
We're going to talk a lot more about Winco, and it's generally considered to be a very worker-friendly, worker-forward store.
By the CEOs of Winco.
Okay, well, I will tell you that they are currently being sued by 3 members of their custodial staff. California shops. It did not specify which shop specifically they were employed at, but it is the lawsuit is alleging that they were given too much work to do and told to do the kind of an unrecognized overtime situation. Like, hey, you are on for 8 hours. Here's 12 hours of stuff to do, and don't leave until it's done. And you can't report it as overtime, so they are being sued at this very moment. That is your supermarket news. Have you heard about this lawsuit at all?
Yes, I did.
What's your take on it?
Well, we're going to get into the practices of Winco and the employee-owned part of it all. Suffice to say, I went into this day feeling very, very positively about Winco and its employee ownership model, and I left feeling much more conflicted and sour on it.
Well, I guess it's time for us to really dig into it. Winco was formed. I'm driving, so I don't have my notes in front of me. So correct me if I'm wrong, and you're welcome to peruse my notes as well. I believe it's like 1971. It was founded, so it's a relatively newer chain.
Yeah.
And it used to be called Weremont or something like that. It switched to Winco, which they say is short for the Winning Company. There's a little bit of folklore about it, which I think has been debunked. But the folklore says that it was named after the first states it started in, being Washington, Indiana, was it Idaho? It might have been Idaho. Washington, Idaho, Nevada, California, and Oregon. So it's kind of a West Coast.
Why had it been debunked?
I think it's more likely that Winco. And their corporate website says it was named Winco, but they like the folklore thing applied retroactively to it. Author is dead, so you could say it means whatever the fuck you want it to mean.
I actually saw an obituary of one of the main CEOs of Winco recently. So.
Yes, he's dead. He's dead, Jim. But so it's a grocery store chain. They are expanding to Oklahoma and Wyoming in the last few years, and it's considered to be kind of a warehouse store. So that means that it's like light on frills. Supposedly they pass the savings on to you. They're kind of renowned for their bulk items.
I'm looking forward to it.
Oh boy, did you bring some big sacks?
No. Okay, I thought about bringing like bold, mason jars, but I didn't.
My partner did give me a list of things that she wants me to bring from the bulk section. But they are bigger stores, and they are theoretically employee owned.
They are. Well, yes. I actually think it's okay to go theoretically.
All right.
I mean, ostensibly they are. There's no private equity. There's no. They're not a publicly trading companies, and they do have shares, which I'm sure we'll get into. But and the shares, by all accounts, are only owned by employees.
Yeah. So it's considered a nonprofit organization. Is that correct?
I didn't remember.
Okay. I wouldn't want to. Again, I'm driving, as I don't have my notes. We can fact check during the break, but it's
it is not a nonprofit.
Okay, it's not a nonprofit.
For profit.
Okay, but it is.
They call it majority employee-owned companies. I tried to figure out whether that meant like 51% or like whatever 90-something%, and I couldn't perfectly pin that down, but it does seem to be way more than 51%.
Okay.
Employee-owned.
All right, and the idea is that if you work there, I saw the terms. It's like you have to work there for like 6 months, and you can start putting some of your salary into
20%
into like a fund that makes you a shareholder in the company, right?
Yeah, but you don't get access to it until about 6 years.
Okay,
after you've been an employee, and if you leave before that 6 years, you forfeit all or some of your shares.
All right. So you're gonna have to fill me in on this, because like this is something this is a really big blind spot for me, is like how like shares and stocks and ownership in a company actually works. Like my partner works for a pretty big company and has like stock options that are like vesting, and it's something I really struggle to wrap my head around. I don't know if you have a firmer grasp of it, but this seems like a good thing, right?
Okay, well, so first of all, it's always a little different, especially when it's something like this, which is a completely private deal, right? So they don't have to report to the stock market. They don't have to do anything. They just own, like the employees own the shares. So once a year, a third-party organization that Winco chooses values the company. And they say, okay, the company is now based on all the assets and based on all the whatever, like, and the business that's coming in, they are now worth X million or $1 billion, right? And then they have Y amount of shares. So each one of those shares is then worth that division amount based on that, what it currently is. That's it.
Okay.
It's almost that simple. The complexity comes from how do we issue the shares? When can you cash out the shares? Do we print more shares to like dilute them, which they seem to typically not do too much of? And just sort of like, how is the whole valuation sort of thing working? There's a lot of stories that you can read about these quote unquote Winco millionaires.
Yeah, I read one of those exactly. It was Forbes in 2014, and it was saying like, oh, you know, she's like a lady that works there, but her shares are worth $1 million. Let me say it the right way. 1 million. Is that Dr. Evil? He's the guy that says, what are these dollars? My Dr. Evil's pretty bad. $1 million.
That's pretty good. Yeah, that's okay. It's passable. People would recognize it. Just said it on the street. 1 million.
But yeah, so, and they're like, the Forbes article was very much like, check it out. She, you know, stock shelves and she's a millionaire.
Yeah.
I mean, but you're saying that that's not exactly true?
No, that is true. But if somebody were to put, she worked there since 1985. If there was somebody were to put 20% of their salary into the S&P 500, even at a you know, low wage job, they would have a lot of fucking money.
Okay.
I could. It depends on their actual salary, but it could rival, if not beat, $1 million. So the impressiveness gets a little muted when you consider that.
Okay.
But really, honestly, my biggest thing of the whole thing is, okay, so the employees own it. They get these shares. They're valued in this kind of way. What does that mean for decision making? That's the question. Like usually when somebody owns something, they make decisions. In Winco's case, that doesn't seem to be really the case.
Who is making the decision? So it's like
CEO and a board, just like any old fucking evil corporation.
Okay.
So how much people get paid, how much people work, how much do they cut, you know, this and that. Like that has nothing to do with any employee say whatsoever. And I think that's really the rub of where the wonderful story of employee ownership sort of hits reality of like, oh no, this is just a capitalist corporation that happens to be run in slightly different way than a lot of them.
I mean, arguably less evil, right? I mean, it's the veneer of
yeah. I mean,
okay.
Yes, for sure. Like if you were to compare it to Walmart or Kroger, like yes, I would take the employee ownership over that. At least there is a veneer. At least there is some semblance of we're trying to set people up for retirement. We're trying to set people up for, you know, I don't know, to value their work. So I get that.
Okay.
I think my frustration is when you read the actual accounts of the employees and you realize pretty quickly, like, oh, they're getting fucked. I mean, they hate their job. Their managers are not treating them well. They're not getting paid enough. It's the problem of every, you know, shitty job.
And yeah, they just don't have any like say in the matter. Like you'd say if it was truly employee owned, then they could say like, well, we want, you know, to put a cap on the hours that we're working or something like that.
Okay. Which is where we get into the question of unionization. So
before we get into this, I did want to just stick with this, the stock thing.
Yeah.
So this is the part of where I never quite understand. So it's and again, maybe this is like a dumb guy question.
It's okay.
But so they own the share in Winco.
Yeah.
And Winco is not owned by anybody outside of Winco. So if the cash register has $1 million in shares of Winco, how do they cash out? Do they have to like sell it back to Winco?
That's exactly what they do.
Okay. And is that, I mean, they presumably are just like, okay, it's valued at $1 million, so here's your check for $1 million or whatever, right?
When they retire or leave the company, if they're past their vested period, then they can sell it back at the current trade value.
Okay.
Yes.
And that's dependent on so the Winco hires the company to say this is what it's worth.
Yeah.
I mean, is it in the favor of the CEOs to like get a company who's going to say, oh, we'll give you a little less of a valuation on it?
No, because the CEO also presumably gets 20% of his body, and that's presumably $1 million times more than what a cashier is making.
$100 billion.
So it's actually very in his interest to make it
Okay.
the price go up.
I mean, it doesn't sound terrible. Right. Okay. I've never worked at a grocery store, so.
Yes, better than not having that. But I also think we should temper some amount of the praise that we give. That's essentially where.
All right. Let's get back to unions.
Well, yeah. So that's the major difference. We've talked a lot about unions. Everyone probably knows my stance. I'm a very pro-union person. The biggest thing, in my opinion, is actually
It should give you the nickname of Union Jack. Sorry, that's very stupid.
No, it's okay. if that wasn't the British, British, then I would maybe have supported it.
Okay, we could call you Union Adam.
Okay, we could take that. But decision making, like who has power, like that's the real question. It's not just about money. Ultimately, this employee ownership is just another way of having a retirement account. And other companies have retirement accounts. Other companies put money into them, and nobody gets patted on the back for that. Really, that's kind of normal. So that's kind of why I'm saying, should anybody be surprised that they've done a lot of union busting? No. A handful of Winco stores are unionized, but it's far less percentage than Kroger.
Okay, so you think that maybe because they have this presumed, we're employee owned and everybody lives working here, and the guy that's filling they don't have baggers actually. Yeah. The guy that's stocking your shelf, the guy that's grabbing the carts, he's a millionaire secretly, undercover millionaire.
Right.
And it's just more normal. It's more of a normal operation than that would suggest.
I think so. I mean, the real comparison I would say is the Costco. Everybody claims that Costco employees are overpaid, at least for what other grocery stores are paying, and that they love their job. And I don't. At some point we'll probably do this episode. I'll do a lot more research about what actual Costco employees are saying. It seems to me, based on my current understanding, is that Winco is actually a worse place to work than Costco, even though there's no guise of employee ownership of Costco. But maybe I'm wrong.
Okay. Well, let's dig into what we're doing today, Adam.
Yeah.
So we're driving. You're in Joshua Tree. I live in Yucca Valley, and we met at my house in Yucca Valley to drive to the nearest Winco, which is presumably in the town of Indio, on the other side of the county lines in the Palm Springs area. I guess first of all, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know where I'm going.
Direction.
We're not at the part of the trip yet.
This is the San Andreas Fault, by the way.
Oh, we're driving right over it. Cool.
Just
But I've been to this Winco before, and we will talk about it. But I know the general area where we're going, but I don't know. I didn't type in any addresses. I did no research. I just kind of hopped in the car, and I figured hopefully that you could look it up on your phone.
Yep, I already got it. So just it's like I didn't know where to say the 10 East. Pretty much the whole way.
Okay.
So I'll let you know when the exit.
Is it actually in Indio, this place we're going?
It is. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I was right. I think there's 2 Wincos in this area. But I will tell you, from where we live, it's quite a trek to get to the Winco. It's about an hour, if I recall correctly. I went to this Winco one time. It's the only time I've ever been to a Winco. And I used to run a pop-up restaurant in Joshua Tree in my house. It was a hot dog restaurant called Hot Dog Panic. And before we actually started running this, I was toying with the idea of doing the pop-up thing, doing large food events and things like that. And a mutual friend of ours actually was talking about doing this party, and I said, hey, I should cater your party. I don't know if she asked me to do it or I asked to do it, but essentially she's like, yeah, let's do it. She offered to pay for all the food, and we decided to go to Winco. She had spent some time in Portland. It was very much like, I love a Winco. Let's go to the Winco. We'll buy all the stuff for the party. So we set out together, and I went, and I remember liking the Winco, but it's so far out of the way for my daily life that it wasn't worth the trek, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Would I shop at a Winco if it was closer? All the time.
Sure.
But I was like, there's nothing specific to this Winco that necessitates me driving an hour out of my way to come here. That's kind of where I landed with Winco as it relates to my life. If we're down in the Palm Springs area, there's other fancy grocery stores where I get stuff that I can't really find more locally closer to our house in Yucca Valley, in the high desert, as we call it. And I'm much more inclined to pop into a Gelson's or a Jensen's and get some specialty stuff. Or there's an Asian market nearby that I go to. I haven't really found a reason to go back to Winco to necessitate this huge trek that we're making.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my read on Winco as we're starting out. Have you ever been to one before?
I'm very excited. And I was feeling super positive about them, and maybe I will once we leave. But before I did research, so who knows? We'll see how it is. I'm also going to be looking at the employees' faces to see if they're grimacing.
Okay, you're gonna let's get some smiles up with show employees. Let's show off them gums, them teeths. And then we're not really doing a specific cooking challenge like we did with our Aldi episode, but we are actually gonna go shop at this Winco. My car is full of coolers. My partner has given me a list of some bulk items that she'd like me to grab, and I told her again, not going with anything special in mind, but I'm gonna try and get something unique to the Winco to cook for us tonight. I mean, I'm not 100% sure what that is. I really remember going to this Winco and being I didn't think that there was anything so unique about their produce or their meat department or anything. I mean, the bulk stuff is maybe the thing that's stuck in my brain as okay, this is the special thing that they do. But I am gonna try and get something at least that we couldn't get locally and cook that for dinner tonight.
Speaking of which, it's almost lunchtime. Would you like to try to see if they have prepared food that we could get for lunch?
I would be open to it. I had a slice of pizza this morning, and again, my stomach is a little wonky from my presumed cyclosporiasis.
Yeah.
But I was hoping that we would get some food while we were down there.
Okay.
So where we live, it's a smaller community. We're a vacation-based community, and when you go down the hill to the Palm Springs, Indio, Coachella area, it's a massive community compared to where we live. So if I'm down the hill, I do try to eat stuff that is that I can't get at home. Whether that is Winco food or we'll get off the highway and say, oh, maybe there is something fun to eat or near the Winco. So I'm kind of game for what we'll find.
You can tell me if you don't want to, if you want to cut this out.
Sure thing.
There's a new hot dog pop-up restaurant. Have you seen this?
Is it called Sumo Dog?
I don't think it's
hot dog pop-up in the high desert.
Yeah.
Oh, I did see this. Yes.
Are you feeling threatened? That's your turf?
Okay. Where did they're popping up in
So Meadows.
Okay. Local Joshua Tree hangout bar cafe, Masa Meadows. Somebody is doing a hot dog pop-up. I did see it. Do you remember the name of it?
No.
So I did my hot dog pop-up, Hot Dog Panic. This is a little fun diversion, I guess. I started it, we moved to the high desert from Los Angeles, and I was really getting into barbecue. I was doing a lot of food comics, and I wanted to do more food comics about barbecue specifically. And I said, I need to be able to know about barbecue, so I started doing barbecue in my house. And we didn't know that many people in the high desert at the time. And more than once, the few friends we had, we invited them over to like eat food, and people didn't show up at our house. So we got stuck with all this leftover, like more than we could feasibly eat. And so I said, like, let's start doing a pop-up so I can get better at barbecue. We'll do barbecue top hot dogs. We did a lot of vegan options, a lot of meat options. Our friends who went on to open a bar in town kind of cut their teeth a little bit by setting up in our driveway and like selling cocktails next to the hot dogs. And the pandemic happened, and we kind of stopped. We didn't kind of stop doing it. We stopped doing it in the pandemic because everybody was like locked up. We moved since then. Where we live now, our neighbors are huge narcs and would absolutely rat us out if we didn't have permits. Like we were a little bit more tucked away in the old place. Like we could get away with a bit more. I feel like now we're in the middle of town with narc neighbors. And, you know, I've done a few pop-ups since then. People have asked if we were ever going to come back, and I have certainly thought about it. You know, I wouldn't say we'll never ever do another hot dog pop-up, but we kind of have left it on the table. My day job keeps us busy. My partner's job keeps her busy. Like, we're a bit more professional than we were when we started doing the pop-up.
Sure.
So there has been another hot dog pop-up before this one that you're asking me about. This guy bought like a hot dog truck, not a truck, like a cart, and he would set up. I think he probably popped up in Los Meadows once, and he would do events, and you know, the Joshua Tree Hard Crawl he would set up. And I talked to him one time, and I was like, oh, you know, I'm the old guy, the old hot dog guy that used to do the hot dogs. Ever heard of me? I kind of gave him the opportunity to kiss the ring and, you know, say some nice stuff about me. He said, no. He's like, I never heard of you.
Yeah.
And, you know, he was a very nice guy. I actually never tried one of his hot dogs. He was doing more bratwursty kind of stuff, like brats with sauerkraut and mustard and shit, things like that. But he was very much an entrepreneur about it. He's like, well, I saw this truck for sale, and I thought, I could do that. So I don't know if his heart was in it. I haven't seen him in a while. It's been a few years since I've seen him pop up anywhere.
Yeah.
More power to this new hot dog pop-up. I'm curious what kind of hot dogs it's going to be. I'm curious if it'll be vegan. I assume that, you know, we have a lot of...
They had very fine print that said, like, vegetarian available, but they didn't have anything
vegan specifically
listed.
Do you know when? Are you looking it up right now?
I'm trying to find it.
Okay. If you tell me when the pop-up is, maybe we can go to it.
I think it was this week.
Okay.
I think it was last week.
Because you and I are actually going to a different, a new music shop in town is opening, and they're going to have a different pop-up restaurant that presumably one could get food from, although I made pizza at my house last night, so I'm probably not going to get pizza at this pop-up tonight. Did you find it?
Hot girl with 3 R's, a hot dog.
Okay, wow.
Hot girl, and it was yesterday.
So we missed it.
We missed the rats. We look up hot girl.
I was trying to find some information out about it. I'm wishing hot girl hot dogs the best. I hope that they're not super expensive. It was very important when we were doing my hot dog pop-up that things were like pretty reasonably priced. Because back in the day, there weren't a lot of restaurants in our area. Like pre-pandemic, there weren't very many restaurants in Joshua Tree, and they were all super crowded. Like, we have a lot more restaurants in the last like 5 years. So I really was like, I'm going to give people an inexpensive lunch, and you can get a cocktail too if you want it. I hope they're not like $15 hot dogs.
Megan from Black Moon Bakehouse,
Okay.
has gotten into the hot dog swinging game. We couldn't be more excited to enjoy a dressed-up dog on a sweltering July afternoon. Veggie options available.
Okay.
That's what it says. Told him I could get.
You know, I still like a hot dog. I'm not doing them barbecue topped anymore. When I'm making them at home, I'm wrapping them in bacon. I'm doing them like LA street dog style. Yeah, LA street dog style.
I mean, I'm front that just anything to me, but
yeah. Bacon wraps, jalapeno, onion sauteed, a little squirt of mayo, a little squirt of mustard. That's usually my go-to these days for making hot dogs for myself.
I did really enjoy the vegan purple slaw that you dared with a little bit of chips on top.
Oh yeah,
That was good.
all of my hot dogs were named after lost character. All right, we are getting close to the Winco. We might pop the mics off, and we'll reach. Well, next time you're hearing us, we'll be post Winco.
Post Winco. Yeah, we'll be different people.
Change. We've seen some sights here. Some sights to show us. We're back. We're in a hot dog restaurant parking lot. Of all the things that possibly could have happened, is we were talking hot dogs on the way in. I guess we do have to leave that all in.
Yeah.
And then we decided that we were going to go to I don't know if it's a chain hot dog restaurant.
It's like a small chain, mostly in this part of California, but then there's one in like Colorado or something.
Weird.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we want to name the chain because I'm going to drag them.
Really? I kind of like mine.
Okay. What did you get? Tell me what you got.
I got a New York veggie dog, which was like a Beyond dog, and that was really good.
All right. We can say the name, I suppose. It's Sumo Dog before it's in Palm Springs. And there's a reason we went to this hot dog restaurant, but they have like a daily special every day, and they had a chili dog special, which, I was very conflicted about what to get at this place because I'm very good at ordering stuff on menus. I'm going to get creamed here. This is a very badly designed intersection. My gosh. I consider myself excellent at ordering at restaurants. And it's a Sumo Dog. It's like a Japanese hot dog fusion kind of place. Mm-hmm. And they had a bunch of specials. Like every day they had a different special or whatever. And I said, I'll get the special. I'll try their chili dog. It's got some, Japanese components to it. It was supposed to come with like some seaweed, I think, and like some green onions. And I got it, and it didn't come with any of the stuff. It was just chili and cheese. And I'm like, I don't know if they are short shrifting me because it's the special and they're trying to
Wait, are you sure that wasn't a special chili dog and then you ordered just a basic one?
I saw that they entered the special chili dog, and it was then reduced for the daily special. So they didn't have like a discounted chili dog. It was supposed to be the actual Main Primo chili dog.
Okay.
And for the price of it, I didn't think it was blowing me away. I got it half price. I left a juicy tip, and we got the fries. And I was just a little underwhelmed, I have to say. You liked yours?
I liked mine a lot. I would definitely go back.
Maybe I ordered badly. Maybe I shouldn't have cheaped out, and I should have gotten the banh mi dog or something with a bunch of like mayonnaise and sushi on it or whatever. I was pretty underwhelmed by my chili dog. There you go. Sorry to Sumo Dog.
Yeah, sorry, Sumo Dog.
And the reason that we went to Sumo Dog in the first place is because we went to Winco, and we were talking about possibly getting some food at Winco to eat. But you are a very kind-hearted vegan man. And was there anything vegan you could have eaten?
No. I looked at like sandwiches, like pre-made stuff, and there's nothing.
There's literally nothing.
I'm sure I could have scrounged up a salad with oil and vinegar. I'm sure I could have really fought for something. It might have wanted to, but basically,
there's two different spots where you could get like hot food. In the back, there was like where they had the sushi and the fried chicken and stuff. You could also like do a grab and go, like get like a hot dog, or I think they had a couple other things in there. But then, like kind of Costco style, you go up to the front, and there's like a little pizza window where they're selling like hot and ready pizzas, hot dogs. You could have got breadsticks. They had little breadsticks sitting in the window there.
Yeah.
I couldn't have done that to you.
I would have figured something up, but yeah.
You asked, and you're like, "Do you just want to eat here?" And I'm like, "No, you got to eat some food, dude."
Yeah. I mean, I probably would have gone to Taco Bell on the way out or something. I would have figured something.
Yeah, we had a fun time with Sumo Dog, even if I was not crazy about my chili dog. And it was missing quite a few fucking things on that hot dog. But that was Winco. What did you think?
Well, tell me about your cart experience. I want to know about that because as we were leaving,
Do you want to start at the end?
I do. Jef was fighting with this cart. I just want to know everything about that. Was that happening to you the entire time?
No. So, we've had Cart and Arts. We've had Agent Sebastian from Cart and Arts on the show before, and we, even if without Agent Sebastian's, nudging, I'm always a card returning person. And I guess digging all the way into it, I am a retired parker. I used to be a delivery driver in the city of Los Angeles. I have parked and delivered in downtown Los Angeles, in West Hollywood, in Beverly Hills, in Koreatown, some of the world's possibly worst parallel parking. And I did it for 2 years without any accidents or any parking tickets. So I am about as good of a parker as one could be. And I am retired. I don't park anymore. I mean, I have to park my car. I don't just let it run around in circles around the grocery store. But I park far from, I don't park close. I'm not interested in parking close. I always pull through. We live in the desert, so parking's not as much of an issue. When I go to LA, I park my car once and I don't move it. We parked far from the entrance of the Winco. And when we got back out, I was trying to take my cart to the cart return. Did you put your cart in that same cart return I used?
Yes.
Okay. My wheels started locking up.
There was no lock on your cart. There was no
There was.
cart stop. Did you see the mechanism?
It had a little sign on it saying that it would stop.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
We could double check.
I was looking at your cart and I saw no mechanism, but it wouldn't make sense. Because it did stop exactly when it should stop, but it looked like it's just a total normal cart.
No, it really did stop.
Yeah, I saw you fighting it.
And that happens to me a lot, unfortunately, because I do park far and I don't use cards a lot, so I don't, even at the grocery stores I go to every day, I don't have an understanding of where the line is. It's not usually very well marked off.
Yeah.
I do think the card return we used was probably different store for Marshalls.
Yeah.
And my car just totally locked up on me, and I really had to drag it.
Because I put my cart in there and it was fine.
I don't know what to tell you. It was not, the fact that it just stopped working when I got into the parking lot of Marshalls, I don't think it's a coincidence.
For sure.
But I dragged it, and I wouldn't leave it in the middle of the roadway, which is where I wanted to stop. But I do hate those mechanisms because of the way that I park personally.
Yeah.
Very bad work on them. So that's what's up with the cart. I had a little bump in with it in the shop as well.
That's what I thought. I thought your cart was just whack as fuck.
It had one moment where one of the wheels stopped working, and I just kind of,
I think your car was just whack as fuck, man.
What do we got? We 90s stand-up comedians? What's the deal when you use shopping carts? They always have one wheel broken.
I was looking for a mechanism that stopped it because you were fighting for a long time, and it just looked like I didn't see the brakes.
It definitely had a sign on it saying, but there was a kind of thing. It didn't have the brakes specifically, but yeah, it was fucked up.
I'm not. You're all right.
What'd you make of Winco? Aside from laughing at me trying to put my parking or park my car, do we want to talk weather first, real quick?
Yeah.
Okay, just real quick. Sorry, we got to mention the weather. It's July in the desert. Where we live, it's been above 100 degrees. We've been in an extreme heat warning for a very long time. And it's always 10 degrees hotter in Coachella, Palm Springs, Indio than it is where we live. So we got hit there and it was about 107 degrees.
Yeah.
And it was dust, there was dust storms, there was wind, it was humid, cloudy. You were miserable. You hated it.
We're miserable. Let's not, I was fine.
Okay. It was me parking like a psycho. I do park far from the entrance. We did have to walk a little bit of a ways.
Yeah. But
you were outside. It's not an outdoor shopping mall.
Remarking at how hot it was, for sure. It was fucking absurd. And with the humidity specifically, I have never experienced that out here in the desert. And it was this gloomy, part dust, part haze, part something else. Smog, I guess. It was a weird day, for sure, for weather-wise.
And it was raining on our way back out. Yeah, all of our stuff. So we did get caught in the rain a little bit. Okay, what'd you think of Winco? Finally, everybody's waiting at him. What's your review of Winco?
I liked it. I liked it a lot, actually. I would definitely go back. It was bigger than I expected. It had a lot of unexpected shit, but it also didn't have everything that I was looking for, which is whatever, understandable. And I love the bulk section. I just thought it was fun. I liked it a lot. It was, even though it's Sunday afternoon, it's not as crowded as I was worried it was going to be.
You know, it didn't even occur to me to consider going to a big grocery store, a big destination grocery store on a Sunday afternoon. But yeah, it felt very meh. I got stuck a few times, twice in lanes, but that was because people were like flapping their gums, you know, they were chit-chatting.
For sure.
It wasn't like I was waiting. There's one grocery store in Los Angeles that's like, it's called Super King in Glendale, where you literally have to like wait in line to get into the grocery store. And this is like, you know, at 9 o'clock on a Tuesday or whatever. Like, it's just so crowded and there's so many people trying to get in and out that you just have to like start queuing up and just going in, you know, a single file line in the grocery store. So it wasn't like that.
Yeah. I was at Costco right now, which we're about to pass, would have been a nightmare. And that's kind of what I was expecting.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, so I kind of went in there with and this is more my style of grocery shopping than anything else, I would say. I usually just do one shop every single day. So I kind of have an idea of what I'm getting when I go into a grocery store. And I told my partner I would bring home something that we can't really get locally, something unique. And so I didn't really know what the centerpiece of the meal was going to be until we kind of went through like half of the grocery store. So like when we were like checking out produce and things like that, I was like clocking. So when you go into this Winco, you kind of go through the alley of bargains. Like it's like a little tunnel and they funnel you to the produce section of the store. It's like kind of a one-way little tunnel with all their deals and things like that. What did you think of that?
I was pretty underwhelmed by everything there.
Okay. Yeah, it was them pushing stuff on you.
It was pretty pretty unexciting. It was like Spam and like, you know, I don't know, Rice Krispies. It was like nothing unique whatsoever.
I did see one unique thing. I saw a Winco branded pancake on a stick, which was like a corn dog but with pancake and sausage for breakfast. Breakfast corn dog, sure. That was fun. I just stabbed a photo of those. But then you exit your little tunnel of bargain and you're in the produce section.
Yeah.
And I just was like clocking the produce. I was keeping an eye on stuff, but I was like, I don't know what I need until I get a little further into the store, if that makes sense.
For sure.
But that's my peculiarities, if we want to call them that.
What do you mean? Like you were just overwhelmed because you were looking for something that you didn't know what you were.
Exactly. I didn't want to start building the rest of the meal until I kind of had an idea what the centerpiece was going to be.
Yeah.
So the way that they funnel you into the produce and then you kind of go through the produce, lots of Taylor Farm stuff.
Yeah.
I saw you peeking at the vegan produce, like the vegan cooler section. What'd you think?
It was standard, but I would say on the small side of standard. You know, like Stater Brothers has a better section.
Yes.
So, you know, it was fine.
You know, that was definitely something I noticed about Winco. I mean, I kind of clocked it pretty early. It's not, I don't want to say it's a low-end grocery store, but it's definitely not a high-end grocery store.
Right.
Like, it's high-end in that, like, you know, they have a lot of things that you're interested in and it's big and stuff, but like, at one point I was looking for the charcuterie section.
Okay.
And they sort of had a charcuterie section, but it wasn't really that substantial. Like, they have a huge dairy section in the back, and usually you're used to the coolers kind of being on the wall.
Yeah.
I know that Walmart has, you know, freestanding cooler, like cheese units and stuff, but I was just a little surprised where the cheese was. But they had, like, you know, a huge section of your big 5-pound blocks of cheddar and stuff, but I was like looking for the fancier cheeses. I should eventually find them, but it was pretty petite, fancy cheese section. Not a lot of like prosciutto and you know, charcuterie type stuff. They didn't really have a deli.
Right.
Like, everything was kind of pre-made. No butcher shop, no deli, pre-made stuff. But I guess between the meat and the produce is the bulk section. And that's
The most exciting and unique.
absolutely like, so we were in the produce section. We got a few things. You were grabbing this and that. Some unique things that I saw in the produce section were unshelled garbanzo beans.
Yeah, I'd never seen those either.
Pretty wild. Like, I wouldn't know what to do with I honestly thought they were fava beans.
Huh?
Like, they were, I guess it was a little green envelope, little pouch,
Yeah.
a pouch of a garbanzo bean on the inside.
Yeah.
And that was pretty unique. I would want to research that and maybe go back to that. I grabbed some beets from the produce section. They had tons and tons of Taylor Farms lettuce. We are still, it wasn't all Taylor Farms. Like there was some Taylor Farms, but it looked like a lot of it had been subbed out for some dough. But we are in the midst of the coprophoriasis, cyclopsoriasis
Yeah.
outbreak. I do have to remember what it's called because it's the name of the villains that John Travolta plays at Battleship Earth. Battlefielder.
Yeah.
The cyclosporiasis.
Yeah. I didn't see any iceberg lettuce from Taylor.
Okay, they probably have pulled it.
Yeah, they probably have.
So you and me were pretty together just perusing the produce section. But once we got to the next section, which was that bulk area, all bets were off, and that's kind of where we broke off and started, for sure, digging into the bulk items.
For sure.
What was your first read on the bulk items? Like, when you walk up to it and you say, what do you think to yourself?
I didn't realize how it went back. It was a lot bigger than I initially saw. I saw like 2 aisles and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. But it just kept going in a way that was impressive to me. And so, yeah, I liked it a lot. I love the bulk section. They had all sorts of fun stuff.
So when you start at the bulk section, it's candy. Like, you walk up, you leave the produce section, you walk in and it's like, it's just a bunch of candy? And it wasn't even like the candy that I was into. I was like, it's like gummy stuff and,
Like unbranded chocolate almonds. That's
sour belts and things like that. I have to say, once you get into the chocolate stuff, there started to get to be some candies where I was like, I would maybe get some of these candies. Like, I started having like s'mores nut clusters and like kind of higher end chocolate stuff. And I was like, maybe I could get one of these, but I didn't. This particular like, s'more marshmallow nut cluster situation. It's like, I would like to try one of these, but I don't want to go through the hassle of getting a bag out, putting it in the bag, wrapping it up, and then going to pay for it. Right? You got to write the number of the product on the bag as well. I just felt like too much work. I wanted to just eat one in the store.
Yeah.
Did you have any of that temptation?
Yeah, I mean, those candies. So there were a bunch of candies that first off, I was hungry. I went kind of hard. I bought a lot of snacky snack foods. And I know that, you're not supposed to go grocery shop while you're hungry, but I definitely.
You are throwing the rule book out of the car window.
That's right. So yeah, there was a bunch of candies that I would have loved to have tried or munched on. Or
such as?
There was like some dark chocolate that looked vegan that I would have tried. I did buy some sour belts.
Okay.
There were a bunch of other like sour gummy type things that I would have wanted to try. There's like some Mexican candies that look good I wanted to try, but
I mentioned when we were in the sour belt section of the bulk aisle, I had a sour belt Ghost Energy. I took my first sip of it and I was shocked by how it tasted.
In a what kind of way?
It was very sour and very weird.
Okay.
But I did drink the whole thing.
Yeah.
So my partner has never been to a Winco, but she sent me with a list of 3 things to get from the bulk section.
Okay.
And I don't know if she's going to be happy with what I got.
What were the 3 things she wanted and what did you get?
So she said, get me raw cashews, raw walnuts, and if they have them, cacao nibs.
Yeah, those are all, I mean, I'll take you to a place that we could go if you want that.
Okay, what kind of place has those things?
See, maybe we just passed it, but it's next to Costco. It's called Clark's.
Okay.
It's a health food store. And they have bulk section. They definitely would have had all 3 of those items.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they did have bulk walnuts. I don't know. I don't think they were raw. There was like not a choice. It was whole walnuts.
Yeah.
And the mechanism, the dispenser was like actually cracking some of the walnuts because like they're so big, they're big whole walnuts. They would get jammed. And so I'm like, well, I'm fucking paying for the whole walnuts and the device is cracking them right in half. I should have just gone straight to the half walnuts, but my partner would have thrown them out of the goddamn window. She, like you in your rule book, she would have said, these are not for me, and just chucked them. And
Spit on the ground.
yeah, they did have raw cashews, but they were only raw cashew pieces.
Yeah.
So not even a whole raw cashew. So I got a pound of those. They're relatively cheap. I had to Google what a cacao nib is.
Yeah.
And they didn't have it. I was like, is there anything comparable to this? And there was not.
Yeah.
And so I got her, she loves chocolate covered espresso beans. And so they had those in the bulk thing, so I got her some of those.
So when you said you got a pound, were you carefully measuring that?
Every single time I did I guess I did the 3 bulk things, but both times I'm like, I have no idea what a pound feels like.
Yeah.
So I got the stuff and I put them on the scale and I was like, each time I had about a half a pound of the nuts.
Okay.
So I just doubled up and got a pound of each. Okay. We don't actually know how much pounds of the chocolate covered espresso beans I got. Probably a little less than 1 pound. So I had to guess. But yeah, hopefully that's a nice treat for her. What did you get from the bulk bins?
So the main thing I got was nutritional yeast, and its per pound weight was very expensive.
Expensive.
Yeah. So, so I was nervous because I again didn't, and I didn't see the scales until I was almost done with my whole bulk journey. But it wasn't very expensive because I guess it was way less than a pound what I got, even though it felt like a lot. What else did I get from I got some pinto beans. I got some hide chews for my dog.
Hide chews, not high chew.
Hide chews.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's it. And then I got sour belts, but they were I didn't
Prepackaged.
I didn't weigh them out. Okay.
The bulk section is pretty expansive. It's pretty wild. You can buy like rice in the bulk section, a variety of flours. They had cake flour. This is their pizza flour.
Yeah.
I was pretty surprised you could buy sugar and like stevia and monkfish sweetener. Like, again, I'm not in a lot of health food stores, but even the few I've been into, this feels like Winco's got like a pretty sizable, like expansive bulk section. Like I was right, it pushes the definition of like what you would consider to be buying in bulk.
For sure.
Which that might also be my problem as like a U.S. American grocery consumer, where I'm used to like buying a sack of flour, or I'm not trying, a little plastic bag of beans at the store, and not used to getting these sort of things in bulk.
Yeah.
Their spices that they had were pretty good, but it was not that expansive of a spice section. Like it was like, they had a whole cumin and Italian seasoning blend and things like that, but they didn't have like whole mustard. I would have possibly considered buying like whole mustard. See, you add it, but they didn't. That was the part that I was almost a little disappointed by in the bulk section at the very least.
They had Old Bay, and it said new, which it made warm my heart.
Okay, new Old Bay?
Yeah, like they hadn't had it there.
Jumbo shrimp.
Yeah.
Why do we drive in a parkway and park in a driveway?
That's right.
And how could the bay be old and new at the same time? Was it actually like Old Bay branded, or was it there?
It was Old Bay branded. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Did you get any?
No, I have plenty of that. But it was good to see my culture spreading through the area.
I go to your house and you've just got a like shelf in the hallway that is just all Old Bay.
Yeah, I do have a lot of Old Bay at the house.
Do you have the varieties of Old Bay?
There aren't really varieties.
I mean, I have like a Old Bay blackened seasoning.
I don't know what that is.
Okay. So you just have like a lot of cans of the same type of Old Bay.
Yeah, I have one large shaker of them.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And what else did you get?
Just in general?
Yeah, let's go through. I mean, I've kind of walked us through. You start in the produce, you get to the bulk bins, you kind of get to the meat section where, I'll weigh in on the meat a little bit.
Yeah.
Everything was prepackaged.
Yeah.
And I know that that's not technically terribly uncommon, but I'm just so used to going to grocery stores that have like a butcher counter where like maybe some things are packaged, but you can ask for some stuff. You can get just like one steak or that steak.
Yeah.
And this was like everything was shrink wrapped and put onto like styrofoam meat wise. You know, I assume they're doing some meat cutting at the place, but you can't talk to anybody that's doing it.
Yeah.
To be fair, I was considering my options for dinner. I was going to start with a protein there. I saw some steaks that looked really, really good. Like they caught my eye, but they weren't exactly the right size, and I didn't really want to eat a steak for dinner anyway. So, the meat, there's some good looking stuff. If Price is right, they did have some larger kind of bulk meat stuff. Like you could buy a whole brisket there. You could buy like racks of beef ribs and lots of that sort of thing. But just on a like day to day, I want like a piece of meat.
What about like
It wasn't all that.
like lengua or cabeza or something like that?
I didn't see any cabeza. I did see they had whole beef tongues, which I thought about buying, but I don't want to just buy shit to buy shit. I'm like, yeah. Well, I don't know if I'm ready to be pickling any beef tongue at the moment.
Right.
But they did have some oddball stuff. I mean, I'll tell you what I bought for dinner. A very, unfortunately, hard to find cut in the high desert. And, this is one of the first time I ever cooked for my partner. I wanted to cook her this dish that my mom taught me. And I could not find this product at any grocery stores in Los Angeles at the time either. I remember promising I would cook this for my partner and then struggling to find it. It is lamb shakes.
Okay.
So in the frozen section, they have like a section full of grass-fed New Zealand lamb. And you can get some of that in the high desert, no problem. You get a shoulder for tapa-tapa, you get racks of lamb chops. But finding the lamb shank is actually, I've never seen that in the high desert. So I'm going to go home right now and cook up some braised lamb shank. There you go. The other stuff that I bought to accompany that is a can of tomatoes, which were very well priced. I bought those cans of tomatoes at a local grocery store yesterday, and they were probably half the price at Winco, which I loved, so I stocked up. If you saw me running, did you see when we were in line, I ran because I forgot something?
Yeah.
Good, I was distracted enough, but I had all my stuff up on the shelf on the conveyor belt. There were people behind me, and I realized I got one can of the tomatoes, but I didn't get the other tomato can that I wanted. Okay. So I said, "Excuse me, do you mind if I run and grab a thing?" And they were polite, and I ran all the way through the store to get a can of crushed tomatoes. And then I came back, no problem. And a bottle of red wine.
Somebody wasn't standing there with their arms crossed, tapping their foot.
No, they were nice about that. But yeah, I got a can of tomatoes and a thing of red wine. Their wine selection sucks, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I got a bunch of stuff. I went pretty hard because, I only go to the grocery store once every now and then. And also I was like, I'm never going to come back here for a while. So if I see something that I remotely want, I'm just going to get it. So yeah, I got all kinds of like frozen. I got a lot of treats. I got like vegan ice cream, Ben & Jerry's. I got frozen mangoes, tofu, fake meat stuff, chips. I got a whole bunch of chips. They had Utz chips.
Okay, I didn't see it. I'm not a chips guy so much, but getting Utz on the West Coast is a rare treat. I know, are you guys Utz?
I know. So I was pretty excited to see that. Yeah, I got, just basic stuff, tortillas, just like stuff that I eat all the time. And I'm looking forward to it. So no, it's good.
So there was one thing that really dazzled me. And again, it was kind of how I predicted I remembered it. Like there's a lot of interesting stuff, there's a lot of good stuff, a lot of good deals. But it's not like you're gonna find anything like too rare or weird. They had a Mexican and an Asian section, and the Mexican side of the aisle was pretty substantial, whereas it's, one side of the aisle was Mexican, one side was Asian. The Asian side was actually abysmal, I would say.
Yeah.
It was, there's a couple ingredients that I'm looking for. It was not anything more than like soy sauce, teriyaki sauce, dried seaweed, and then most of the aisle was like ramen noodles.
Right.
And, like top ramen, not instant ramen noodles. So really not a great Asian section. I think they had like one type of fish sauce, which, you know, if you have a whole Asian aisle, you could have more than one kind of fish sauce. They didn't even have the good fish sauces. So it felt like a very white people Asian section. The Mexican section was a lot more substantial, of course. And, you know, there wasn't anything that really blew me away as being special, except for the one thing that I went buck wild on. Guanciale.
What is that?
That is smoked cured pork shell.
Okay.
So it's comparable to like pancetta,
Okay.
just like Italian bacon,
Yeah.
but it's the cheek of the pig. And it's one of the premier ingredients in one of my favorite dishes, pasta carbonara.
Okay.
You're supposed to do guanciale with it. I never see guanciale anywhere. And a lot of like food writers talk about guanciale like, hey, everybody could get guanciale all the time forever.
Right.
And I don't remember the last time I've seen guanciale. Like when I go to like a higher end grocery store, I don't think they have guanciale.
Oh.
And they had, it was like pre-packaged. I mean, I could show them to you when we get there, but I'm trying to describe it. It's like a little tiny ham hock, like maybe a little bit.
Oh, I saw them in your car.
A bit more of the size of like a ham hock, but it's like shrink wrap individually, and they were all priced by weight. And I could not believe how inexpensive they were either. It was a brand I'd never heard of called Hill's Smoked Guanciale. It was listed as cheek bacon. And maybe this is, I think it was a really high-end ingredient. I think each one of those is like $2. How about three of them? It's about $7 worth of guanciale. It's probably like a pound and a half, if not more, of guanciale, which is, yeah, I see this fucking psycho doing his stupid bullshit. What a jerk. What a jabroni.
Hey.
But if you're listening, there was like a guy with like a, I don't know, longer than 3-car lengths trailer at a gas station, and he was like slowly backing into the highway.
Just right into the highway. Yeah. Without it, like even the no reverse lights or lights whatsoever.
Pretty wild.
Yeah.
But I have a suspicion that the reason that guanciale was so cheap is like they're kind of still pricing it as if it was an offal instead of a like gourmet prized ingredient, if that makes sense. Like, oh, this is, you know, some kind of weird, people do this with the cheek of the pig. That sounds disgusting.
Sure.
Where for me, I'm like, oh my God, guanciale and it's cheap. What's going on? And I stock up on it. You know, they had the tongue. Tums are pretty expensive these days. The beef tongue. That's an offal. You know, they had cheap.
But waffle?
Offal. OFFAL.
Okay.
That is like
eating like a secondary ingredient of an animal.
It is like not one of the premier cuts. So like your glands, your tongues, your face meats, all considered awful. If it's you know, not a steak or a chicken wing.
Yeah.
You know, chicken gizzards would be considered an offal, or pork liver, or beef tongue, for that matter, chitlins.
Yeah.
Sweetbread. Oh no, I favored that because want me to keep listing gross parts of the animal?
I'm good.
But yeah, I really had a freak out about the guanciale. I'm gonna freeze 2 of them. I'm gonna keep one out. Expect me to be making carbonara soon with the guanciale.
I would not be surprised if you make carbonara soup.
But this is the thing, like, it's so cheap and it's so far away. I didn't know, like, what if it sucks? And now I'm stuck with 3 of them.
Then you spend $7. It's fine.
Yeah, I guess I always say gamble is stamp. That's the old Charles Atlas from the comic book, where he wants to build a better build a better man out of you.
Okay.
As referenced in Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Okay.
I believe he says gamble is stamp to get the free kit. Although that might have been like the spoof of Charles Atlas in the Two Patrol comics. So
Okay.
I always say gamble is stamp.
Right.
So,
Well, along those lines, I just kept loading up my cart. And like, I was hungry, so I kept buying little snacky snacks. And I was like, oh, damn, I'm probably going too hard. There's not that much money.
like, how much did you spend?
That's $80.
I spent about the same thing. I think I spent 67.
Yeah. My car was like full of shit.
My cart was not quite full.
Yeah, but I think I got buying specialty ingredients, really.
Yeah, my lamb steaks were not inexpensive, but they were not expensive.
Yeah.
And the guanciale was about $7 per hour. I got some fancy butter because it was cheap. I got a Gatorade. I bought some Polar. It's not Polar Express. Polar seltzer. What's
Polar. Yeah, that's it.
is it called? Polar?
Just Polar.
Okay. Polar Express is the movie,
Yes. Yeah.
and Polar Ice is the Nathan Fielder.
Oh,
Yes, please. That's pretty Polar Ice.
that's.
What else did you get?
Oh, I mean, I said the most of the exciting stuff. I think I said everything that interesting that I got.
Okay. Anything not interesting? Anything embarrassing?
Like frozen broccoli and frozen stir-fried veggies. Not embarrassing, but
Okay.
yeah.
I got a few frozen veggies as well. We've been doing those I've been buying the like pre-sauced bag of veggies that you just microwave. Makes for a very reasonable work lunch.
Yeah.
That teamed up with I have ate these like baked buns that have sloppy Joe in them.
Sure.
So take one of those and a pack of frozen vegetables with cheese sauce to work. Very nice little work.
There we go.
I got some butter for the dinner. I got some black ass wine that my partner's gonna be mad about.
Yeah.
Really bad wine selection. Unbelievably bad wine selection.
Yeah.
Criminal wine selection. And yeah, cans of tomatoes. That's about it.
Yeah. I was looking at the employees to see how happy they were. Everybody seemed to be having a decent time.
I had a really nice chat with my cashier. She had checked my birthday so that she could sell me wine,
Okay.
and said, "Oh, her son's birthday's coming up, and he wants me to take him to Dave and Buster's." But that's fun. You know, worth mentioning at the checkout center, you have to bag your own stuff. Oh, actually, before we went there, and it's fascinating. They know that everybody's not a professional bagger.
Yeah.
So each checkout stand has two different slots where your groceries can go, so that they like move a little lane and it goes down one chute, so they can alternate chutes, which gives people more time to pack up their own stuff.
That caught me off guard. I was not ready for that.
Were you surprised by it, or were you able to like figure out?
I figured it out, but like I was not ready for it until it started to happen, and I had to quickly do the math about what was happening. So yeah,
I definitely had like, because the guy was trying to get past me when I was bagging my groceries. I like kind of got stuck behind my cart at a point, making me. I'm sure if you go to Winco more often than not, you can figure out how to navigate it. But I, as a reasonably seasoned grocery store shopper, did have some issues with sharing the space with other people. Yeah, that makes sense. Sure. And how did you enjoy bagging your own groceries?
I actually enjoyed it. It felt like I had a little bit of a moment where nobody was were looking at me, and I could sort of take my time. So I actually didn't mind it at all.
Great.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts on Winco?
I like it. I like that they're open 24 hours. That's cool. I don't think we mentioned that yet.
Really not. I didn't even know it until we got there.
Yeah.
Do really, with the hours that I keep, I would love a 24-hour grocery store in our community.
For sure.
I love a Winco in our community, obviously.
Yeah, me too. But yeah, I don't think you should be going there expecting gourmet, stuff that you would get at a fancy, like, whatever, grocery store.
It's working class grocery
It's working class for sure. But they had really good working class stuff. Even when I thought I was going to be kind of leaning and going a little hard with the money, like, it was not too expensive, all things considered. I did get some little snacks that I'm kind of excited about. And the employees seemed all right. So take everything I said about the all the grumbling I had earlier with a grain of salt. People seem to be doing all right.
Absolutely. I tried a sample while I was there. Brioche.
Yeah, I saw that guy.
And they don't take credit card.
Yeah,
Which I didn't know until I tried to use my credit card.
I meant to warn you about that.
How did you know ahead of time also?
Because I was researching that this morning. Yeah, I cash and debit all.
I did use my debit card. I was not like caught unaware. I like survived the experience. But it was very much like, oh, I didn't know that I couldn't use a credit card, and I was just trying to use a credit card.
Yeah.
So, I think my takeaway with Winco is I really liked it. I would shop there more if it was closer. I do think our community really could use one. I wish we got a Winco instead of the Aldi that we did get in our area.
Yeah.
All events to Aldi.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's so big that Winco, like, you know, it was in this terrible shopping complex.
Right.
Like one of the worst shopping complexes that I've ever been in. The only other Winco I've ever actually been in as well was in the midst of like a similarly like unsettling, endless shopping center in Merino Beach. There's actually a hot dog restaurant I really like in the Winco parking lot there.
Okay.
And so I do go get a hot dog there from time to time. And I'm always like, there's a Winco. Do I need anything at this Winco? Not really. But it's like...
Moreno Valley?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like outside of Riverside.
Yeah, I know where Moreno... Okay, yeah.
And there's a Winco there that, you know, one of those just like... I mean, it felt like we were driving through the shopping center for 10 minutes today.
Yeah, it was absurd.
It really like the horrifying depths of capitalism run amok.
Yeah.
With endless real estate and a little oversight. It's just like, you know, one boundless strip mall anchored by a Walmart, then a Winco, then a Marshall's, just seemingly endless.
And you imagine sweltering heat, weirdly humid, kind of strange haze that is not normal. So yeah, the vibes were strange when we got out of the car, for sure.
But here, I mean, we're back in the high desert. We're back in Yucca Valley, my hometown.
Yeah.
And I don't think you can... we don't have the space for shopping centers of that ilk. Like, we have the Walmart Home Depot section, but even those are badly designed, but not unnavigable, unending. Like some of the what I guess Winco is asking for in their situations. So I don't know if we would have like the space for the Winco here. Would love a Winco. Would shop at a Winco if we had one.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good. I would do it again. I would go to Winco again. I would eat a hot dog again.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to do it for our episode, right? I mean, we're kind of wrapping up. We're getting back to my house. We're going to see our dogs who have been having a play date together. And I'm really thirsty. That hot dog and the french fries were super salty.
Yeah.
I brought a kombucha, but I warmed up in the car. So I'm going to have a huge glass of water, you know.
Yeah.
And that is going to do it for us. I'm Sitting Up on Our Podcast. Thanks, Adam.
Thank you.